Hey everybody, D here, Daily Gaming, back with more Monster Hunter World Iceborne. And in this episode, we are going to take on Diablos and the Horned Tyrant below the sands. Uh, there's a very, very strong chance that you haven't fought Diablos yet. You can find him in missions, and so you can go up against him. But the problem is, before this point, Diablos is, depending on your armor before this point, Diablos has just stomped you. He's a very difficult monster. He has very simple basic attacks, but the problem is he just hits like a damn truck. I mean, he can easily one-shot you. I highly recommend going into this mission. You have either ice or an impact weapon. If you're using any files, he's very weak to ice, so you can shorten the fight with that alone. If your weapon uses impact, or if it's a blunt weapon, so like the hammer or bagpipe, those are going to be really helpful because you can stun him a lot. So that'll help, stagger them, daze them, let you get some big hits in and such. I also recommend using Screamer Sacks. You can farm Screamer Sacks in the Wildspire Waste in the area where you first encounter the Barioth. Also, the first time you could possibly come into contact with Diablos because of those screaming birds, they summon him. The Screamer Sack is very useful because Diablos will dig underground, and if you use the Screamer Sack, it will stun him, and he'll come up out of the ground, but be stuck like halfway in the ground, halfway out for a couple seconds, letting you get some good hits in there. Now, with the Screamer Sack, it only works if he's not enraged. When he's enraged, it won't have an effect on him. So don't just spam it. Make sure you know when you're using it. If you have a shield, points into guard is very, very useful. It'll prevent you from getting knocked back a lot. You can recover from blocking and retaliate quickly. If you do not have a shield, evasion window and evasion extender are very, very helpful. Being able to dodge away out of his hitboxes is going to be very useful because the Diablos is really big and he has huge hitboxes. So you're going to want to be able to get away from him or have a big evasion window to dodge through those large hitboxes. I can't remember what else he's weak to, but you want to go for the head a lot. His horns are one of the hardest items to get, and you get one item. You get one item for breaking one horn, but you get a different item for breaking two horns. And I don't remember if you can only get one or the other. I'm pretty sure you can get both. But yeah, you really want to go for the head. It's the hardest thing to get because in front of rub is the most dangerous. If you have the charge blade, you're actually at a very strong advantage here. If you haven't learned guard points, this is the monster to learn guard point on. Being able to do a guard point will be able to block a lot of his attacks, and you'll do stun damage to his head. You can also break his horns with guard points. So the charge blade, I think, has a very huge advantage in this fight. I actually like fighting Diablos. The first few times I went up against him, I hated him. I rage quit so many times against him. But now I actually like fighting him. Once you get his moveset down, once you figure out how to handle him with your weapon, he's actually not that hard. But like I said, he hits really hard. So one small mistake can quickly turn the tide of the fight. And do not think that just because you ran away and you're far away from him, you're safe. When he burrows underground, he will chase you from one area to the next with that attack. So he can go after you from a really, really far range. And if you are blocking his attacks, good luck to you, because even with points in the guard and stuff, he has really funky hitboxes. So he'll be charging at you. You'll be facing him. You'll guard. And sometimes you'll block one attack, but a lot of his attacks have multiple hits. So you'll block the one attack from the front, but then as he's passing you, another one will hit you from the side, which is behind your shield, so you'll still get sent flying. Like, some of the attacks are just you're gonna get hit if you're guarding, no matter what. So, or if you're unlucky. So yeah, it can be frustrating. Um, for meals, obviously, always choose whatever you want. I highly recommend the defense up because even at this point, unless you've upgraded your equipment really high, he's still gonna hit you really hard. And even then, I don't think your defense can be that high at this point. I think my Rathalos armor is at like 30. That's one of the highest defense ratings you can have at this point. It's not a full set. Wait a minute. Am I wearing the right gloves? I think I changed my gloves, and I don't think I ever changed them back. Nope, I didn't. There we go. Yeah, see, my Rathalos, 30, 30. I've upgraded this to 30. That's at 30. And yeah, it can't. This one can't be upgraded past 24, I think. So I have one of the highest armor ratings you can get right at this point, and he's still gonna practically one-shot me if he gets any big hits in. So with this fight, go in expecting to lose. Take your time. If you have any demon drugs, armor skins, might pills, armor pills, or anything like that, they'll help, but don't rely on them because they don't want you to burn through your resources and then have to stop and go farm just for resources just to fight them. But once you start getting a feel for the fight, I do recommend using those to help give you that little extra boost. But with that, we're ready to... Wait, did I actually eat? No, I didn't. Defense up medium. So with this, we're actually ready to get in. Oh, he's weak to paralysis. Yeah, so either ice, stun, paralysis. Let's change. Can I change? Oh wait, let's accept. I didn't accept the mission yet either. Let's get this going. And then accept the eastern camp. I think that drops you off right next to him. I can't remember if you have to... Yeah, I'm pretty sure you have to find him in a cutscene. Oh, no. Yeah, it's still close enough. Yeah, the eastern camp will work. Crap, do I have the right camp? No, I'm sorry, the northeast camp. That's the one. It pretty much drops you off right next to him. You have to find him like you do in other cutscene, like when they're in a stage cutscene. But that's pretty much right next to where he is. He's weak to paralysis, so being able to paralyze him is good. So I want to change my Palico equipment to a paralysis weapon if I have one. Yeah, I didn't. How? Can I forge one real quick? Butterfly set 10 and 8, and he gets a defense bonus. Is there anything else? Ladybug 10, 8, and 55. He doesn't have a Gyros set. Huh, I thought it was going to be from the Gyros weapon. I didn't think it was going to be from something else. So yeah, let's go with the Ladybug. The other one has a defense bonus, but he doesn't really need that defense bonus. Let's use that. I actually should be crafting better armor for him, but we'll do that once we hit the high rank, because after this we have the Zora Magdaros mission, and then we go into high rank. Go up here and get a buddy. bodyguard. I'm not sure what you do. Got slinger ammo. So this is where Diablos usually hangs out. Like I said, we have to find him for the cutscene. That's his nest right down there, which I don't think you've actually had access to before this point. I think that's blocked off until you fight this mission. This area is full of mining outcrops. So if you ever need a farm for mining outcrops in the Wildspire Waste, just come down here. Because I think there's like 3 or 4 down in that room. Off in the Diablos nest, there's like 2 more. And then up along this little path right here, there's 3. And I haven't actually fought Diablos yet, because usually I'll go through early on and fight them, because you need them for crafting weapons, some of the earlier weapons. Because like the paralysis weapon I can get from the Great Gyros, the 2nd tier of it, I unlock, or I need Diablos parts to unlock it. Also keep an eye, or try to keep yourself, when you're fighting him, around these pillars, because when he charges at you, if he hits the pillar, he'll get stuck. Even if his horns are broken, he still gets stuck. So it's a good opportunity to deal some big damage. One thing that's weird is that the Diablos is known for burrowing and charging at you. Like just burrowing through the ground to get around and stuff like that. Yet he's a flying wyvern. Like I think in all my time playing this game, I've only seen Diablos fly once. And it actually startled me because I didn't know he could fly. Like he has wings, but he can't, but he never flies. So it actually startled me when he flew. Wow. This is gonna hurt. Oh, good stun. Let's run this real quick before it disappears. Alright, so here he is burrowing underground. So if you have the Screamer Sack, shoot it now. Oh, he went after the bodyguard. That was a surprise. Let's actually equip those Screamer Sacks. Back to my heals. Alright. Oh, are you serious, dude? I did the bodyguard again. You got a warning for that, dude. Oop. I didn't think I was in the hitbox, but okay. This is gonna hurt. Oh, he missed me. I thought he was staggered. I didn't realize he was roaring. And I never changed my weapon. Shoot! Oh, damn. Well, that did a lot of damage. Ooh, that was close. He covers a good bit of ground with that head swipe. Dang it. Wow. You are really hard up for the, Oh, good job. Wow, see? There it goes. Stupid ass hitbox. It's coming after me again. Not good. Oh, one of his horns broke. I thought he was going to get me. This is going to get... How, what? How'd that miss? Of course you're exhausted. Oh, man. What are you doing? I held circle for so long and he just stood there, just not doing anything. Or don't flash onto him. Oh, nice. Both horns broke. Oh, behind. Oh, I blocked him. He's running back towards his nest. He is not ready to be captured yet. So I'm using the wrong weapon, but I'm going to keep rolling because we're doing all right. But as you saw that one point, even though I blocked his charge, I still got hit when he was back behind me. Like I said, he's got some really funky hitboxes. And unfortunately, that becomes very common in Master Rank. A lot of the enemies have just bizarre hitboxes that don't make sense. It gets very frustrating. Doing right down here, dude? Huh? You, doing okay? Woo, that was close. Ooh. Don't make me pucker up. No! Where are you going? No, 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 no! Nope, turn, turn, turn! Oh, what the hell? What? Okay. Distance. Oh. Alright, so sometimes he'll do this. He'll burst out of the waterfalls. Watch out. That's got so much range and his whole body's a hitbox. Oh, I saw that coming. Yep, saw that coming too. Get up. Heal quickly. He's coming for me. He's coming. See what I mean by range? Oh my god. Alright, bud? It's too slow for that guard point. Well, I got a couple hits on his tail. Oh, I thought I was going to slide. I was hoping I was going to slide. I thought that second hit was going to get me. What? Oh, damn it. I clipped his tail, which staggered him, which actually screwed me, because he was going to be closer if I hadn't have staggered him. It's going to hurt. Oh, he missed. He's not doing too good now. This fight's been going for a while. I think he's close to being captured. Yep. No! Dang it! I didn't think he was going to go underground because he was so close to his nest. But alright. Didn't have the right weapon, but it went pretty well. It went pretty smooth. If I had been using an ice weapon, this would have gone a lot faster. Would have much bigger hits on them. As you saw, that some of my elemental files were only dealing like 11 damage. If I was using an ice weapon, they would have been a bit higher than that. Not insanely higher, not like I would have been dealing like 50 damage with each one, but it would have been like 20, I want to say. So, not great, but we've done it. That is the Diablos. Damn. I actually got lucky there a couple times. I think if the hitboxes had gone in his favor, I would have carded at least once. There was one time where my health was really low, and when two of his attacks should have hit me, and for some reason it just went right around me. Like I just slid. I don't know why I didn't get hit. That was really lucky. But we got a Diablo's Fang, and we got a Twisted Horn, and that was it. So the Twisted Horn and the Diablo's Fang, they're the hardest. They're some of the harder ones to get. The tail's also relatively hard, but I mean not as hard. Monster Bone Large, Ridge, Shell. We got okay resource. We didn't get a whole lot really, but we got okay. I guess because I focused on his head so much, we didn't break other body parts. But no, we did all right. It's not. I don't think it's gonna be enough to craft his weapon, or maybe even the Gyros weapon or Gyros weapon. But it'll be something. There you go, and that's it. So like I said, yeah, it's going up against Diablos is probably one of the toughest monsters in the game at this point. Once you get, like I said, once you get the hang of his moveset, if your armor rating is up kind of high, you use that defense bonus. It gives you a good advantage, and you should be all right. But yeah, he's a huge hard point or wall for a lot of players. Uh, he just hits so hard. All right. So after you complete that mission, it teleports you straight to the Wyverian guy to talk to him, and he spouts a bunch of nonsense. They try to make the Wyverian this big mystical guy, and I think there was a bunch lost in translation because it just comes out in gibberish. A lot of the things he says is pretty stupid.
Commander, I'll tell my...
There's no time. What? Correct. Not.
What if we tried to lure it away from the Everstream somehow?
So,
Lure it away.
Yes, sir. So if we
can mitigate and the bio...
I'm blowing through all this because again, the story doesn't really matter.
Big plan.
Is that what I think it is?
We're gonna use a big sword to hunt Zora Magdaros, or a big spear. They do this big epic shot of just a boat, and it doesn't really matter.
Not to mention, she's on.
Excellent. Hunters, I'll explain the deep. May the Sapphire Star light our way. Now, get moving.
Alright, so pretty much for the
Zora
Zora Magdaros, you find out he's been gathering energy, and he's trying to find a place to die. The problem is that they think because he's an Elder Dragon, he has so much energy inside of him that if he dies, he will destroy the continent. Or at least, kill all of us on this continent. And we don't want that to happen. We want to try and push him out to sea so that he dies out there where he's not going to hurt anything. And again, this is so weird. The story is it's such crap. A lot of the details are so stupid, but then they also drop in. They have the foresight and the attention to detail to drop in little nuggets to hint at other stuff later on. I skipped over it because I don't care about that stuff. But at one point when they're talking, they say if they're like, "Hey, if we can drive Zora Magdaros out to sea, he'll die out there." And everybody's like, "Yeah, he can expel his energy out there, and we'll all be safe, and nobody will be off, or nobody will be harmed." And somebody says he may even start his own ecosystem out there. It's like just a whatever line, okay, yeah, that you almost immediately forget about it. That is the guiding lands. That's how the guiding lands are formed. Why are you following me? That's how the guiding lands is the end game content of Iceborne. That's where you go fight the super hard monsters. That's where you do the limit break on your weapons and your armor and stuff like that. That is, and the guiding lands is there because of Zora Magdaros dying out in the sea. They dropped that little detail right here in the base version of the game months or even a year or more than a year before Iceborne even released. So they already had the plans for it back then at that point. So it's why I'm so confused about the story and why I think a lot of stuff is lost in translation, because they have the attention to detail. They have the foresight. It's why Monster Hunter World is such a good game, is because of their attention to detail. How well things are animated, how well the mechanics interact with each other. It's all handled amazingly well. But then the story is written by like 3-year-olds. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, like I'm not a good writer, and I could write a better story for this. So I honestly think that a lot was lost in translation, and they were like, yeah, the story doesn't really matter, so whatever. But here's a few important details we want to keep in for the story. So, I don't know. It's so weird. It's so dumb. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up. We got a few people to talk to before we head out on the next mission. Let's go ahead and talk to some of them, because I don't think anything is too important. It's just, hey, get ready. Be careful.
May the Sapphire Star light your way.
a couple people might be like, hey, we can, since you're getting ready to do this, we can now do this to help you get ready
New
for
products
it.
in stock.
Here we go, power charm and armor charm. This is an important thing. Okay. Can I afford them? That's 36, that's 40, it's 60. I have just enough to afford these. Oh, that's amazing. All right. After the Diablos mission, you can get the power charm and the armor charm, and it is critical that you get these and that they never leave your inventory. What the power charm and the armor charm do is here, let me go over here to the item box, manage items, use that. Alright, so if you look at my stats, my attack is 479 and my defense is 145. Now let's equip. I already forgot what the numbers were. My attack was 479, it is now 500. My defense was at 140 something, it's now 157. The power charm and armor charm give you a boost to your attack and your defense. And here's the really cool thing, is once you get a bit into high rank, you can hunt a monster and it'll drop like talons. You use those talons and then you can upgrade the power charm and armor charm into like the power talon and armor talon or something like that. And you can come back and rebuy the power charm and armor charm. When you do, they all stack together and it gives you a huge boost to your attack and your defense. I said it's critical, it's not. You can very easily go to the game without doing it, but it's not a smart thing to do. The power charm, it's like having a constant I can't remember if it's small or medium. I'm pretty sure it's medium. It's like having a constant medium attack food buff, just always, no matter what, you always have it. The upgraded version, the power talon, is like having a constant attack or food buff, attack large. So it's like having two food buffs of large and medium at all times. And then on top of that, it stacks with everything. You can still eat at a canteen and get the medium or large attack buffs on top of it. So it's like having another power charm on top of that. And then once you're out in the field, your your demon drugs, pills, might pills, whatever, all of that stack on top of that as well. So once you get everything, once you get all those buffs going, just from the food, pills, and the power charms, not including any of your skills or anything, you get, I think, like a couple hundred points of damage. Of course, the numbers in the game are bloated, so a couple hundred points is like whatever. But I want to say it's like having an attack boost of 7 altogether, which, mind you, you can put an additional attack boost of 7 on top of that. So like it's just the boosts get really insane, and it's honestly it's dumb to not do. Like, yeah, they're expensive to buy. You're gonna be hurting for money for a while. It's very easy to get money though. Like, I have a couple missions sitting here worth like 10,000 zenny, so I can go out, or not missions, investigations. I can go out, do those investigations, just sell whatever resources you get from the investigation, and that can give you an additional 3 to 10,000 on top of the reward for that mission. So right there in one mission, you can get 20,000. Yeah, it's really But wow, yeah, I didn't realize you could get them now. I thought it was after the Zora Magdaros mission. That is so good. I wonder if I got... No, I don't think I could have got them before this. Yeah, it had to have been now. But, alright, this episode's been going on really long. I'm starting to ramble. I'm gonna, actually, I think I'll probably split this one into two. Make the power charm its own separate thing. I don't know, I'm rambling. Sorry. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Oh, I'm going to have to cut this in to the end of the previous video, but I forgot to show off the weapons. That was in the armor of the Diablos. That was my original point of keeping recording. So let's see, upgrade equipment. So the Diablos tree. Okay, you got the Twisted Horn, nice. So I just need one more Fang, and then Monster Bone Plus. I need 2 more of those. Those aren't that hard to get. So as you can see, he does 612, okay sharpness, but negative 30 affinity, and a defense bonus of plus 10. So a lot of people love the Diablos weapon for its raw damage. I believe it has the highest or second highest. I mean the final tier of it. The rarity was it 11 or 12, whichever it is, that you can't even access until Iceborne. It has the highest or second highest raw damage of the game, and once it gets down to the end, to the high rarity, I think its sharpness gets much better, because right now the sharpness is worse than most of my... Oh, no, that's about the same for that one. That's the bone one. Yeah, it's worse than most of my other weapons. But once you get down there, it gets better. It's... One of the reasons people like it is because it has the worst sharpness, though, because there are skills you can use that increase your damage as your sharpness decreases. The issue that I have with it is the negative affinity. A lot of people, they'll just put a bunch of points in the critical eye so that it counterbalances the negative affinity. But you're still not going to be you're still not going to have a high chance of getting critical hits. So while your raw damage is higher, you still have a very small chance of getting critical hits unless you go for like 100% critical eye build, because then your affinity will get up to 70%. But I'm like, I'd rather use a weapon with less affinity, or with less attack, better sharpness in general, with a flat out higher affinity, so I don't have to invest so hard in a critical eye. I don't understand the obsession with the Diablos weapon. Like, I'd much rather use something else. I'm not saying it's a bad option or they're dumb for it or anything. I'm just saying I don't understand that obsession. I'd much rather go for something else. It's the Diablos weapon, while neat, yeah, that negative affinity, no. And in case you don't know, negative affinity, I'm not sure if there's a set name for it. I've heard it called a bunch of different things. I call them blunders. So when you have affinity, you deal a critical hit. That's, your attack. In the video game roleplay aspect, your attack was perfectly aimed and timed, and you hit a weak spot, and you deal extra damage with your swing. A blunder would be you mistimed it and weren't holding your weapon appropriately, and you hit a tough spot, so you actually dealt less damage. So with a negative 30 affinity, you have a 30% chance of dealing less damage with each attack, or on each attack. And negative 30 is pretty big. Like, if you have a positive affinity of 30, you notice it. A lot of hits will be critical hits if you have a positive 30 affinity. So that's why I don't like it. I'm like, yeah, you may have the highest raw damage, but that's counterbalanced by the negative affinity. I don't. So it's most of those hits, not most, but there's a good chance that a lot of the hits are only going to deal like 550 damage, or even less than that maybe. I'm not sure how big the blunder affects your attack, or the negative affinity affects your attack. I don't know. Because if it's like a critical hit, which is like 1.5 times your regular attack, it could be 1.5 times minus your attack, which Instead of dealing like what 612 and 1.5, that could be like 900. That could mean you're only dealing 300 damage instead. Like, yeah, no. I'd much rather just have a weapon that has like 500 damage with a positive affinity, so that I'm guaranteed to get like 600 and some odd damage, and then I only need to put a couple points in my affinity, so I'm guaranteed to get almost every hit as a critical hit, and then have skills going somewhere else. It's yeah, that's how I see it. So you're probably I'll craft the Diablos weapon mainly because I also like fighting the Diablos. Plus I need its parts for other stuff like the Great Gyros or the Gyros Strong Arm 2. I need Diablos Fangs for it. So, and I think even in the high rank I need Diablos parts for them as well. So at the very least I'll farm Diablos just for these parts. And I think there's a couple other weapons that you get access to later that need Diablos parts. I'm not sure. But, alright, that's his weapon. For the Charge Blade, let's look at his armor. His armor's pretty cool looking. I think it has some good skills on it as well. This is the female set. I think the male set actually looks a good bit different. Like, the helmet doesn't look like teeth with an eyeball in the middle. It's not an actual eyeball, it's a crest, but it looks like an eyeball in the middle. I think it looks fairly different. Most of them, they're not that different. They're from male to female, they're not that drastically different. But for the Diablo set, I think they are. But you get critical draw, which is really good for long swords and for the great sword. Because with the long sword, they have that sheath attack where you sheath your weapon and you draw it to deal a massive hit. So critical draw is a huge boost for that attack specifically. Increases affinity on draw attacks. Yeah, draw attack affinity 30, 60, and 100. So that attack, which is already really powerful, you can get it up to 100%. You're guaranteed to crit and deal 1.5 or 2 times damage, whatever it is. So that's a very powerful skill. Even with the, I mean, it's useful for other weapons too. I mean, because anytime you have to sheath your weapon and pull it out, you're guaranteed that first hit's a critical hit. But that long sword specifically has that attack where you sheath your weapon and attack. So that's what gets the weapon benefits the most from it. Slugger, good for any blunt weapons. The hammer, the bagpipe. I think you can use Slugger for impact files because impact files technically deal stun damage, and Slugger increases your stun power. But I've messed around with it, and I didn't notice that big of an improvement. Even with 3 points in stun power, I didn't notice a big improvement. I don't know if I was doing something wrong, or I don't know if it actually doesn't affect impact files, but I just didn't see a difference. Heroics, that is... Oh, increases your attack and defense when your health is below 35%. Can get very powerful. At level 5, it increases your attack by 15% and your defense by 100 points. So, with all of the, like I said, the power charms and everything, with those bonuses and stuff like that, it's 15% of all of that, which can be a really huge a huge boost. But you have to keep your health below 35%, which is not good, because a lot of enemies, especially when you get the master rank, they can one-shot you if your health is below 75%. So you have to somehow plan the attack to get your health that low, and then keep it that low purposefully while playing perfectly and not getting hit. Like, if you can do that, good, kudos to you. That's impressive. Marathon runners, whatever, and then Trevor Resistance. This is a useful one. I don't think anything has had this one here yet, but it nullifies minor ground tremors. At level 3, it nullifies minor and major ground tremors. Very useful for, like, if the Diablos, like when he burrows underground, that when he burrows underground, it won't stagger you. Oh, excuse me. Other tremors are like the Radabon. He headbutts the ground, and it sends out a shockwave. Like you become immune to that. There's a couple other ones. There's like I think Rathalos has that stomp attack, and if the attack doesn't hit you but you're too close, it'll stun you, or the ground tremor will. There's a couple others. It's a nice skill, but I've never really cared about it. I'm like, because somehow with the shield you can block ground tremors. I don't know how that works, but it does. Yeah, you can block them. So, but that then of course the Diablos has Diablos power. Raises attack as your weapon loses sharp. So this is the one that does it. Also boosts ranged weapon melee attacks and odds of stunning. Ranged weapon melee attacks. What ranged weapon? That I've never noticed, or else I don't remember. And it doesn't make sense to me. Ranged weapon melee attacks. So, well, I'm not very... I don't know much about the guns. So I know that with the light bow, it doesn't have melee attacks. It only shoots. It doesn't have anything else. I'm pretty sure. I don't know about the light bow gun or the heavy bow gun. Maybe they do have like a buttstock attack or something like that, or maybe you can smack them with the barrel of the gun or something. I don't know. Huh, that's interesting. But, yep, okay, so that wraps up the Diablo set. Debating on whether I'm going to jump straight into the Zormagros fight, or if I want to finish up anything. I think I might just say screw it and just jump straight into the Zormagros mission and get the high rank. Because what I'm thinking about doing is doing a bit of grinding to get some of the weapons that aren't ready for high rank up to high rank. Like just craft a Diablos weapon, get my Gear of Strong Arm up. There's a couple other weapons that I think I can upgrade one more time. But I'm also thinking, screw it, I just jumping into high rank within the first 2 missions. I'll have stronger weapons, and it'll make grinding for those items faster and easier. And it's something I'll do. Obviously, I'll do off camera. I'm not gonna do that on camera, but oh yeah, I'll screw it. Jump straight into this Zormagros mission. All right, thanks for watching. See you next time. Oh, of course, lost the internet.